is he doing that? He's starving.
I'll take things I wouldn't have to explain if we just stayed indoors for 600.
Your father is dead, Coriolanus.
Damn, was he killed by your lack of tact?
It's up to us now to make him proud.
Laying the burden of making a deceased parent proud upon 2 children. They don't need that shit. They can barely find food. Literal compass standing in as a metaphor for moral compass cliche. Compasses basically only exist in movies to do this.
And pledge our love to you.
Blind patriotism.
It's beautiful. Best cousin ever.
Best cousin ever for a cool shirt? Shit, I had a cousin that scored me drugs on the regular, and we live 3 states away. This guy's definition of best could use some expansion.
You should really eat something today.
Save them for Grandma.
Old people. But also, spending money on the electricity to keep this huge-ass fridge running when it only has a few items in it. And they could easily have just used the ancient pot in a pot fridge where you pour sand between 2 pots and you keep it wet. You know what? They're wasting electricity here if they're super poor. That's my main point.
It's the plinth prize, Tigers. We'll be able to pay the rent.
Landlords. Taunting American viewers who are terrible drivers with this huge and sexy roundabout.
I am Dr. Volumnia Gall.
Dr. Volumnia Gall? These names are from the book of rejected James Bond names, right? Her name is Voluminous Gall. Peter Dinklage plays an intellectually tormented genius who spends most of his time intoxicated. That's new, right?
The Plinth Prize will no longer be determined by who has the best grades,
Excuse me?
but by who is the best mentor in the Hunger Games.
I am shocked about these changes I never saw coming to a prize I never heard of before. Just shocked, I tell you.
Victory in the games is only one of our considerations.
And yet by the end of the 10th Hunger Games, it will be the only consideration.
7, boy, the Psania sickle.
Okay, look, I know Suzanne Collins is known for making inventive names for this world, but Vipsania Sickle doesn't sound like a name. It sounds like an overpriced energy drink they'd sell at a rave. So here's a sin for that, and raves in general. He keeps reading names and numbers, and it keeps cutting to people like I'm supposed to have any clue what's happening or who is being assigned to whom. Like, that's your job, movie.
Well, you'll be happy about this, Miss Crane. The Runt Girl from District 12.
Why is Lucy Gray considered a runt girl when we're about to see she's perfectly healthy? Why wasn't the coughing redhead considered the runt girl?
Sing your way out of this one, Lucy Gray.
Way to spoil who the titular songbird is, not Amy Adams. Not since The Lost World have I seen such a comedic overreaction to a snake going down someone's shirt. Want to get bit? Jump around and wiggle. Agitate the danger noodle.
Nothing you can take from me.
Holy shit, this is a musical?
Nothing you can take.
What is happening?
You saw her. She's underfed, unstable.
Sounds like each and every one of my college girlfriends.
Everything is about winning.
I bet Buffalo Bills fans would disagree.
I'll get her to sing again.
What? This movie has absolutely not explained why she sang, and now fails to explain why he would want her to do that again. Is singing in this world not like singing in our world? Is it some kind of power? Is it something most people can't do? Inspecting people as they get off a train. Maybe let's not do this.
When I was little, my mama used to bathe me in buttermilk and rose petals.
That sounds super wasteful on all counts, if I'm honest.
Why does the rainbow girl here get special treatment?
If I have to explain the movie up till now to every new character that comes along, this thing is going to be nearly 2.5 hours long.
I'm Lucretius Lucky Flickerman.
Why is the original announcer of the Hunger Games related to the announcer we saw in the J-Law movies? Is announcing the Hunger Games like royalty, where it's passed down from son to son? Or is this more of a nepotism trumps talent type of Jack Joe Buck situation?
Here's a hint. That's right, the Capitol Zoo.
That is not a hint.
You see, that's a Academy Rouge, no?
Saying rouge instead of red. Unless you work for Crayola, you can just say regular color names.
She's only 4.
Oh, well, I think 4 is a very smart age to be.
That is nonsense. Literal gibberish. 4-year-olds are dumb as f***.
If Lucy Gray is brave enough to be here, then why shouldn't I be too?
For the record, I didn't have a choice.
Lucy Gray better stop sinning this movie before me, or I'll have her imprisoned and sent to a lethal game where contestants sin each other to...
So come down to the zoo and see these tributes.
He says this with a straight face.
What are the Hunger Games for?
To show the world America can take Kushin Takami's book and make an inferior copy?
When you saw those kids in the zoo, they just wanted to get to know Lucy Gray.
They did not. The kids appeared quite bored, much like the narrator of a certain YouTube channel right now.
I'd like you to write up a proposal of these thoughts tonight, Mr. Snow.
Homework. In the time it takes for him to put the napkin on his lap, the second half of the sandwich goes from being stacked above the first half to lined up perfectly with it in the next shot. I hate myself.
You think I can't hear your stomach growling, Jessup Biggs?
What I think is no regular human would say someone's full name at the end of a sentence like this without a script telling them to, so we can get Jessup's neck.
What happened to his neck?
Rat butt.
Where's Morbius when you need him?
I ate a whole jar of paste just to stop the pain in my stomach.
Wow, that sounds like having one problem and throwing a Molotov cocktail to create a different problem altogether. Just who the is in charge of clearing the weeds at this zoo? This is the capital, people.
You're just lucky that your songbird didn't.
You know what? I'm tired of everyone calling her Songbird and acting like she's an amazing singer who has singing powers. We saw her sing once, and it was kind of screamy.
Trust me, that one hasn't been a girl in a long time.
Nice language, Grandma Mama. Nice. Drinking on the job. Why are the tables triangles?
Wearing my mama's dress is the only thing keeping me together here.
This is the weirdest character ever. She probably gave an amazing performance, but the way they've chosen to edit her performance and write her dialogue makes her sound like a computer trying to sound human.
I can't send you gifts in the arena without their money.
So this pretty young lady needs to perform in order to get gifts from her older male sponsor?
Maybe a guitar could persuade me, maybe.
Maybe a guitar could persuade you to act in your own self-interests? Look, you either get gifts that'll help you in the arena or you won't.
So, please, Miss Dovecoat, retrieve it for us, won't you?
This snakes don't attack sense they're familiar with bullshit is only shown to us now so it can be a big twist reveal later in the games. And if I want foreshadowing with all the subtleness of Gallagher smashing a watermelon, I just watch, Gallagher smashing a watermelon.
A strategy your classmate here articulated very well in his proposal. They're good, your suggestions.
Viola Davis is the shit.
Now run along, you have an arena to promote, and it's time for my milk and crackers.
Drinking milk with your crackers.
Welcome to the arena for the 10th annual Hunger Games.
The whole of the games are going to take place inside this tiny concert hall? Floors cave in, and then the entire ceiling caves in, and the movie is still going to show us a bunch of Hunger Games contestants ready to compete after this scene, even though basically everyone should be dead now and forever, goddamn.
They're not still going ahead with the games.
Now, that's a stupid question. Of course they are. The smart question is, are they going to move the games to a more interesting and less bombed arena? And the answer to that question is somehow no. Her singing is getting her a ton of donations. So how long before the others start juggling naked or just doing porn? Does Panem have laws in place for an OnlyFans situation? Also, I can't play it for you, but this song is a lifeless Bob Dylan ripoff. As this nurse cries listening to the Songbirds song, I have to ask, has this person never heard singing before? Is that actually the point here? Not that she's an amazing singer, but that she's the first to dare to sing in ages? Because that would be compelling. But the movie isn't actually telling us that story. Instead, the movie says she's an amazing singer and everyone's mesmerized and emotional because her voice is the most beautiful thing they've ever heard.
Lucy Gray. You're alive.
No guards on patrol. Spot her over here, Snow and Lucy conspiring to cheat. Are there seriously no extra guards watching the tributes after a rebel bombing and one escaping?
Those bombs, they have changed everything.
As bombs are wont to do.
You saved me, Lucy Gray.
I wish just one goddamn motherfucking time he would call her Lucy, or Luce, or Gray, or LG, instead of always using both her first names.
And there will come a time when you need this.
There will come a time when she needs rat poison?
We are gonna win this, Lucy Gray.
Lucy Gray, 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 Lucy Gray.
And smile. It's why we have teeth.
Forgetting about the functionality of chewing food.
To the children watching, that was violent, horrific, and disgusting.
Only to the children?
If they keep it up at this pace, we're gonna be out of here in no time.
Man, do not get my hopes up. Amazon delivery services.
Spend your father's money, do some real good.
If you have access to incredible wealth and still lack the imagination on how to properly help others, I'm not sure what to tell you, Janice. You might just be a dumbass.
Your Songbird's next on my list.
Good luck penetrating her plot armor with that rusty trident.
You've had enough of the games tonight, I see.
I, too, have had enough of the games tonight.
Who could imagine Crassus Snow's baby boy fighting for his life in the arena one day?
I thought the games were only in their 10th year, though. So no one could have imagined that because the games didn't exist.
Leaving a boy with a club who beats another boy to death to stay alive.
Grammar this with me. Leaving a boy with a club who beats another boy to death to stay alive. What the f***? I saw what happened, and I know she's shaming Snow for clubbing that kid, apparently to death, to save his own ass, but the grammar of that sentence does not make any sense. Who is doing the leaving? Are they leaving a boy with a club? What do you mean by club? Because Snow beat the assailant with what looked like a club, but you just said we left that boy with the club. Then the boy with the club who was left turns out to be Snow because he's beating another boy to death to stay alive. Oh no, the Snow family is being evicted. Now he's even more manipulatable. Also, if you get evicted in the capital, do you have to go live in one of the districts? Do they have homeless homeless shelters in the capital? Because I don't think that they do. Holy shit, it's been the whole night and this guy is still shaking and shivering and crying, and she somehow spent the last 8 hours next to this and did not kill or ditch him.
Rabies, it makes you afraid of water. Send him a drone.
Wow, you diagnosed him with rabies faster than WebMD told me I had gout. It turned out to be an ingrown toenail. That's 2 tributes Snow has now killed. Maybe it's guilt that actually turns him evil, yeah? Also, none of the other tributes hear this and come running to see what caused all this screaming. Snow sends in 12 drones of water, and somehow that takes out basically all the assailants.
I'm just sending water.
Nice try, Snow, but God already tried using that same line after Genesis 6. I didn't let him off the hook, and I'm not buying it from you either. Trying to attack someone who has the high ground. You're just begging to lose your limbs and be left for dead next to a river of lava.
You're useless!
How did these 4 even get so tight? Why don't they kill this leader girl now since she's so mean? So here comes a fairly innocent tribute to maybe drink the poison water, and it's tense, but still, those bullies all left to chase the child? They didn't leave one person back to guard/kill Lucy Gray, who was pretty well trapped? Seriously? That's 3 tallies on Snow's sheet.
Kill!
This guy is terrible at stealth. Wow, this moment would be so much more impactful if we'd gotten to know anything about any of the other tributes, like in the last Hunger Games movies. Ironically, for a film whose theory is humanize the tributes so the audience will pay better attention, this movie fails to humanize its tributes so we'll pay better attention.
Before the sun goes down tonight, a rainbow of destruction will engulf our arena, even if it means there's to be no victor in these games.
This is the political equivalent of, if I can't have it, no one can.
Give me a drink. Give me a drink right now.
This was right about the part of the movie where I asked our intern to get me a drink. He then promptly reported me to HR. I then said, "Gotcha, b****. This is CinemaSins. We don't have an HR." And then he reported me to the Department of Labor, which I learned is, in fact, a real thing, with real fines.
Your songbird, Lucy Gray, put on a wonderful show.
But she didn't. And she's still only sung twice in this movie. Albert Brooks sings twice in broadcast news, but nobody's out here calling him Songbird. So he tore out his own stitches so he could come in here to get more, and he somehow knew that after she was gone, Dr. Gall would leave him alone in the lab so he could do spy shit. This movie is testing my patience even more than most movies. He puts the handkerchief he used to wipe Lucy's tear into a vat of snakes because they are sniffy snakes. We met them briefly earlier when they attacked that one girl who pissed off the teacher. But the real issue is the 2 guards turning their backs on the vat of snake for the entire time.
Quiet. Listen.
Why did Lucy keep crawling further down the tunnel after she got out of reach of the spear? This works. The snakes take out at least 3 tributes, and yet there is still an entire ass hour of this movie left to go.
I can't have killed them all for nothing.
This is the most hilarious form of selfishness I've ever seen.
Headed for heaven.
She's singing to the snakes. She is singing to the snakes. She is singing to the snakes.
Get her out!
Why the f*** is Tigers here? She's neither a student nor a member of the broadcast staff.
She's won! Lucy Gray! Her Snow is the winner of the 10th annual Hunger Games!
Wait, you just contradicted yourself. Didn't Lucy win the games? Snow was just her mentor. Or is this like when they give Grammys to singers but not the musicians?
We both know that child from 11 didn't die of disease.
She might have. If that rat poison didn't kill her, the disease was probably just seconds behind.
And that old handkerchief. We found it in the snake tank, appropriately. Condemning you with your father's own initials.
Why didn't he cut the initials off the cloth before putting it in the tank? Honestly, this guy is such a moron, I kind of think he deserves to get punished.
Finally. The sound of snow. Falling.
Jesus f***ing Christ, was this script written by a hammer?
Send me to 12.
How much did he bribe the officer with? $5? Would $20 have gotten him out of duty altogether? The bar for bribes in Panem is set real low.
So what I did in the arena? My father had to buy the academy a brand new gym just so I could get my diploma. But once I found out where they were sending you, I couldn't get out fast enough.
Wait, what? Does he know Snow is in love with Lucy Gray and not him? I realize Snow saved his life, but doing all this is pretty extreme as far as payback goes.
If there is a games next year, they're probably gonna invite her to sing at the opening ceremony.
Well, invite is an overly polite word choice. They'll probably force her to at gunpoint.
For the next 20 years, the brothers and sisters in your immediate squad will become your family.
Hold up. Is every soldier here serving 20 years? Do they all get caught cheating in the games? How does the enlistment system work in this universe? 20 years is a hell of a tour of duty.
What were you thinking back there?
She didn't do anything, Corio. What is she guilty of?
Being directly associated with rebels.
Holy shit. Did he go from mostly good to full throttle evil during a train ride?
Are you coming to the tree?
I'm half convinced this final unnecessary act of the movie solely exists to throw in some forced callbacks to the others. Didn't you want to know where that song the District 12 citizens sang once came from? It's Lucy Gray! Don't you feel good knowing that? It's like finding out where Han Solo's last name came from.
But I gave them my last cent so that I could come here to 12.
Actually, you gave them your last bill, not your last cent. There were no coins exchanged in the bribe.
Maud, have you grab my guitar?
Why does Maud have to grab your guitar? You're 3 steps away. Or ask Snow to hand it to you. Maud is literally the furthest person from your guitar. Now they're openly together on this excursion, and what is time? What is place? What are military responsibilities?
On the lonesome wild.
Man, earlier she never sang, but they called her Songbird all the time. Now the movie has heard my complaints and has wildly overcompensated.
Mockingjays, we call them.
Jesus Christ.
But I hope you'll come back with me.
Asking the girl you've been dating for one day to eventually return to the site of her deepest nightmares and trauma.
What if this was our life, Coriolanus? Not here.
God, this is the longest mid-credit scene ever, though it's oddly taking place before the credits.
Some people call it swamp potato, but I think Katniss has a much nicer ring, don't you?
You know what? We're not even 5 minutes out from the last callback. So here's 10 sins for another forced reference to earlier movies. Give me a reason for this final act to exist aside from Easter eggs.
I've made a career out of ruining my enemies' plans.
Right. That's why you got the really good post of being in charge of District 12.
We're renting this place just for right now.
They evicted you.
If not having money got you evicted from your previous home, how do you have the money to rent wherever you're staying now?
You're as pure as the driven snow.
Jesus f***ing Christ, was this song written by a hammer? Man, he's got more kills than Gimli or Legolas at this point. Have you ever been to a music club or bar where there were folk performers on stage? Do you think you would not hear a rifle shot from the green room in those circumstances?
I have to run north, away from the district.
Movie doesn't give me a map of any kind so I can see what's outside of Panem. What is the Hunger Games version of Canada?
I just learned Hoff is sending me to 2 for officer training.
No, you learned that days ago, fool. How are you able to go do a day at the lake with her and her friends, but somehow not able to speak to her at all in the last several days outside of the time you were murdering people?
Meet me at the hanging tree.
They're gonna hang us. Let's escape. Where should we meet? That place they hang people. Brilliant. So apparently Dr. Gall got the bird Snow sent, and that's why this dude is now about to be hanged. And I guess Snow knew that would happen? What a dick. Regardless, there are 3 more bodies about to be added to his ledger, and he is a prolific killer.
Treason, plain and simple.
If watching the last 8 years of American politics has taught me anything, it's that there's nothing plain and simple about treason anymore. Snooping through the personal belongings of a man you just caused to die.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I don't believe you. Man, he told her to meet at first light. This is f***ing 9:30 in the morning. Somehow, she still wants to be with him.
I'll miss the covey. Hope they'll follow me someday, though.
Why aren't they now? Is there any reason aside for artificial tension that they shouldn't be fleeing with you at this very moment?
There was Bobbin in the arena in Mayfair, and who's the third?
My old self.
Lying, but also being bad at lying.
If we destroy that gun, you're free.
Wouldn't you also be free, Lucy? Holding this cloth to your face before knowing 100% that there aren't any snakes inside.
Shut up!
Wasting ammo. Ah.
Congratulations, Mr. Snow. You've passed all my tests. The president has agreed to another year of the games.
Let's just hope Lionsgate doesn't.
When I sobered up, I wanted it destroyed, but your father, my best friend, he'd stolen it from me.
That's a shame.
Snow lands on top.
God damn you, you couldn't resist one more goddamn snow pun, could you?
This is the yellow snow cone.
Well, it's an excellent blue duck. Congratulations. You just passed the first grade.
To your ideal and pledge our love to you.
I'm not allowed to sing. Court order.
I could this icebox. I love it so much.
You could work in a wine store, Miles. That'd be a good move.
As you know, each and every one of you was searched upon your arrival here tonight. And you have the right to know why.
Where this year's tributes will be held here on display behind these bars for your viewing pleasure.
I immediately regret this decision.
Either way, that's what happens when you do stuff.
Well said. Wasn't that well said, Zoe?
Had a kind of poetry to it, sir.
Blood for Ball! Blood for Ball! Blood